Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Woburn Public Media Center studios for tonight's second round MIAA tournament action. It's a battle of the Tanners between Peabody and Woburn. The Tanners tonight come in with a record of 19-2, with their last regular season win coming against Winthrop, and the Peabody Tanners come in with a record of 17-4, including a first round tournament win against Waltham, in which they came away with a 55-42 win. I'll hand it over to my broadcast partner, Hadi Bilal, to tell you a little bit about some of this Peabody roster.
Yeah, I mean, this is, like you said, Battle of the Tanners. It's going to be really fun to watch. Playoff time. I want to talk about some interesting things in the Peabody roster. Sisters Taylor Betancourt and Allie Betancourt are on the roster, as well as their cousins, who are all sisters, Isabel Betancourt, Abby Betancourt, and Lizzie Betancourt. And another fact about them is that sisters Taylor and Allie's father is the mayor of Peabody, and Isabel, Abby, and Lizzie's father is the head varsity football coach and baseball coach of Peabody. So a lot of cool connections there in the Peabody roster. I mean, I don't know if it'll really help them in this game, but what do you think, Joey?
It's storied history indeed when it comes to the Betancourt family. Now, I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few of the players on our beloved Woburn girls basketball roster. Cindy Labissiere, McKenna Morrison, Shannon McCarthy, and Megan Quayle, all given the honor of Middlesex League All-Star. And also for Cindy Labissiere, she was named a co-MVP of the Middlesex League for this past season.
Yeah, I think they really deserve it. They're amazing players. We've been watching them all season, and you could just tell by the way they play how good they are on the court. And it's exciting how they can play today in the playoffs and maybe even go even deeper.
This matchup, as you said, Hadi, will be interesting. The one thing I'll be looking out for is we know that there seems to be a little bit of difference in competition, although the teams do have similar records. Some of the margins of victory for Peabody are on a larger scale, with having 2 wins against Salem where they let up less than 20 points. As we await tip-off, we will send you downstairs for the beginning of the player intros and national anthem.
Number 11, Taylor Betancourt. Number 14, Abigail Betancourt. And number 31, Isabel Betancourt. And now, introducing the starting lineup for the Tanners. Number 1, McKenna Morrison. Number 31, Shannon McCarthy. Number 24, Captain Amber Hayden. Number 23, Captain Cindy Garcia. And number 11, Captain Megan Quayle. Would everyone now please rise and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back as we are just about set and ready to go for the beginning of tonight's second round MIA tournament action. The starters for the Peabody Tanners will be Lauren Mendonca, number 5, Logan Lamanzi, number 10, the reigning National Player of the Year in the Northeast Conference for the Peabody Tanners, Taylor Betancourt, Abigail Betancourt, and number 31, Isabel Betancourt. The 5 starters for the Tanners will be number 1, McKenna Morrison, number 23, Cindy Labissiere, number 11, Megan Qualey, number 24, Amber Hayden, and number 31, Shannon McCarthy. Lamanzi and Qualey will jump it up.
It's playoff time, Joey. Can't wait to see this. Student section going crazy. Let's hope for a good one right now.
Ready to go, the players jump it up, and the first playoff action for the Tanners is underway. McCarthy swings it to the top of the key for Cindy Labissiere. Amber Hayden thought about the 3, doesn't get it, swings it back to Labissiere, who pops up the mid-range, no good, rebounded by Lamanzi. Let's see what she can do with the star power that we know she has. Ball is thrown into the corner and tipped out of bounds. Possession will move in favor of the Tanners.
Yeah, I like how the Woburn Tanners, even though they missed the basket there, they've started playing fast-paced, and especially in the playoffs, playing fast with tempo is very important.
Errant pass came from number 11, Taylor Betancourt, as Morrison with the chest pass to Qualey, who floats it up in off the glass. McCarthy fighting for it, doesn't get it, and Lamanzi will handle it for the Peabody Tanners. The dribble handoff goes to Taylor Betancourt, floated up off the glass, rebounded by Cyndia. Back the other way, looking for the open teammate. It was McCarthy, who went a little bit too fast on the layup, and it was off the mark. Lamanzi back the other way, coast to coast. Rebounded by Hayden. Morrison, mid-range at the free throw line, knocks it down. First playoff points for Morrison and the Tanners.
Finally breaking the ice. It felt like both the Tanner teams were going back and forth, couldn't get a layup in.
Corner 3, that one's off the mark. Almost rebounded by number 5, Mendonca, but it goes out of bounds. And it will stay in possession of Peabody. Underneath the basket comes the inbound. It's deflected and almost taken in by McCarthy. She lost control. Taylor throws it up, no good, off the glass. And a travel will go against Logan Lamanzi. Amber Hayden with the inbound to Morrison. Ball gets deflected out of bounds, and the Tanners will redo it with 6:23 to go. Only one basket so far. It came off a mid-range jumper from McKenna Morrison. Labissiere driving coast to coast. 2 defenders clash, and a foul will go against Peabody.
Man, both teams are very aggressive. This is exactly what I want in a playoff game. Both teams really want it. Both teams trying to live up to their Tanner nickname. It's going to be great to watch how they see the rest of the first quarter.
MVP chants raining down from the student section for the co-MVP of the Middlesex League, Cindy Labissiere, as she misses the first. That foul was the first one on number 10, Logan Lamanzi, as the free throws are missed by Labissiere, but Shannon McCarthy is there to clean it up, and the Tanners jump out to a 4-point lead. Amber Hayden almost had the steal. It gets over to Lamanzi, who is quickly double-teamed. Ball's deflected towards the Tanner bench, and it'll go the Tanners' way as Coach Steve Sullivan is fired up with the intensity.
I think every player on the Woburn Tanners team should be fired up just as much as Coach Sullivan. Watching them play and watching them be aggressive, I love seeing this from our Lady Tanners.
Correction. Possession will stay with Peabody. as it's over to number 11, Taylor Betancourt, who swings it for Lamanzi, who shoots a 3. That one's good. She gets on the board early, and that might be the only basket Lamanzi might need to get into a groove. We will have to wait and see as Amber Hayden swings it to the corner for McCarthy, who looked to go in the post. Pass was deflected by Lamanzi. Over to Cynthia, who finds a wide open Megan Quayle on a beautiful cut into the paint for an easy layup.
Meg Quayle finding the open zone, Cindy giving her the good pass, getting the great easy layup.
Lamanzi into the corner for number 31, Isabel Betancourt. Ball is deflected on Betancourt's pass. Was intended for Abigail Betancourt. Hannah Surratt, the first lady off the bench for the Tanners. Labissiere slowly gets it across the Tanner timeline, driving in with plenty of defenders crashing towards her. Through 4 defenders, she's able to knock the layup down. Here comes a little bit of a press from the Tanners. Peabody gets by, floats it up off the glass, no good, rebounded by Meg.
She had a great lane kind of going in between the defenders, but couldn't finish.
Labissiere had a wide open Hannah Surratt. She couldn't handle the pass, deflects off her hands and goes out of bounds.
I want to go back to the Cynthia Labissiere layup. I mean, I want to say you got to get used to that all this game because how much of a danger she is running towards the basket and being a force in the paint.
She loves that downhill running and is never afraid of the contact as she's willing to shoot those foul shots. Press comes again on the double team. Tanner's worried about Lamanzi early, but it's been working well so far. She's only knocked down the long 2. Whistle blown, and it'll be an underneath the basket inbound as Meg Quayle will check out. Peabody in a stack formation to get it started. They break. Lamanzi at the free throw line looking to post up on Labissiere. She got a hand on it. However, it's driven by, but we got an offensive foul. Amber Hayden there to draw the charge, and a free possession for the Woburn Tanners.
Beautiful defense against the Conference Player of the Year. I mean, the part of defense that we want to see from Amber Hayden and also the rest of the Tanners, just to give our ladies a little bit of a chance for later this game.
Hayden breaks Morrison and Labissiere. Ball goes out of bounds, but it'll stay in favor of Woburn. 2 early fouls on star player Logan Lamanzi. We'll see how that will pan out the rest of the way for Peabody. As Labissiere goes to the drive, backs it out to the wing. Over the head pass from McCarthy is right on the target for Surratt, but she's not able to hit the layup with too much heat on it. Deflected into the hands of Surratt. There goes Morrison. Back to Surratt. Give and go action. Labissiere thought about the 3, takes a step in, mid-range off the mark. Back the other way now. Here come the Peabody Tanners. Number 31, Isabel Betancourt driving in, back outside to the corner. Abigail Betancourt tried to pass it back to Isabel, but it was well defended there by Morrison.
Overall, so far, a great defensive showing from these Lady Tanners.
Sophomore number 13, Jalen Cunniff, will check in as she did just before the timeout. But as you said, Hadi, it's been a great defensive showing so far for Woburn, only surrendering the 1 basket from Logan Lamanzi. And I think you also have to like to see the style of play that the Tanners have up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're
with the aggressiveness.
Yeah, they're both playing really aggressive. I mean, this is a playoff game, as I've said many times before. I mean, how we need to play in a playoff game definitely is instrumental to the fact that they're playing aggressive. Also, the way they're playing defense is incredible so far, only holding them to 2 points. It's going to be interesting to see how they can carry this on to the second quarter. Timeouts are going to be an interesting factor, even in the first half, I believe. So for a good 3 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first quarter.
Isabel Betancourt will inbound it. Amber Hayden is the closest defender there, but she'll turn her back. It gets into number 5, Mendonca, who works the dribble handoff with Taylor Betancourt, who decides to shoot a 3, and she knocks it down. The first offense in a while for Peabody, but they've cut the lead down to just 3.
Huge 3.
Cuniff with a drop-off pass to McCarthy. A wide-open Amber Hayden. Not able to answer with a 3. Offensive rebound, Meg Quayle. Back out into the post for McCarthy. Spin, left-handed layup off the mark. Still a battle for it. Still loose. Cuniff hits the deck. So does McCarthy, who is down on hands and knees, and it's flipped up and caught by Taylor Betancourt back the other way. The inside drive. Ball loose. Levissier runs up with it. Going back the other way, one-on-one. Open layup is knocked down by Cyndia.
What a wild sequence of events there. Both teams clawing for the ball. Looked like a rugby game for a second.
2:28 left to go. Deflected by Amber Hayden. She ends up with it on her knees looking for a teammate. And it ends up in the hands of Meg Quayle, who's got some open space now. The jumper by Cuniff rolls around all the way and in. 4 straight points for the Tanners, all because of some nice defense on the other end. The corner 3 is off the mark. A quick rebound, left-hand layup. Still a battle for it. We've got a jump ball. Possession is in favor of Woburn.
I think this is a time to start getting into the zone. You're now almost, the first quarter is almost done with. So the players are now just getting the jitters out of their system. Now it's just heads down, playing some good basketball.
Cuniff will get another chance to handle it. It's a pass to Morrison, who will get it across the Tanner timeline and use a screen from Megan Quayle to get an open 3. It's off the mark. Another offensive rebound. Amber Hayden with a hard drive. Another offensive rebound, this one by Riley Morgan. Quayle thought about the outside shot, doesn't get it. Another wing 3 for Amber Hayden. Off the mark. Another offensive rebound. Morrison floats it up. And Peabody finally able to get it back with Isabel Betancourt.
Wow, that frustrates me so much, Joey. I mean, getting all those offensive rebounds back to back to back. I mean, they have to come up with some points somehow.
I believe Quayle also might have had Jalen Cuniff wide open on the top of the key on that second drive. Or Morrison, excuse me, not Quayle. Isabel Betancourt, one of the 5 members of the Betancourt family on this team, will inbound it to Taylor, or Abigail, who gets it over to Logan Lamanzi, working in on the perimeter, now driving it on Meg Quayle. The little jumper is good inside the paint on the block.
They don't want to get her too hot.
12-7 with less than a minute to go now. Morrison takes another screen from Quayle into the elbow. Back out for Cyndia. The handoff. The 3 is off the mark. Brooke Tuzolo, that was. She gets back on defense. It's deflected. Morrison ends up with it. And now with pace looking to get ahead. The mid-range jumper rattles all the way around. Almost an offensive rebound, but Cyndia lost control. And it'll go out of bounds in favor of Peabody with just 31.9 seconds to go in the first quarter.
I feel like some of these Lady Tanners are still kind of in their heads in the moment. You know, maybe the playoff atmosphere is getting to them, but what we're doing is that it feels like we're leaving a lot of points on the table, which definitely needs to be corrected later on.
The inbound lost control. And it ends up with a turnover from Peabody, and looking to turn it into a quick offense is Woburn. Another hard drive by Cindy, another whistle blown. And it'll be more free throw attempts for Cyndia. Labissiere 0 for 2 her first time at the charity stripe. Make that 0 and 3. Oh for 4. That was also a struggle. Last playoff run for the Tanners was free throw shooting, but another offensive rebound leads to a layup. Press affecting the Peabody Tanners a little bit here. They get it across half court. Deflected by Amber Hayden and taken in by Riley Morgan. Still with time to go now. Was looking inside for Hayden. Pass was errant, and the half court shot is off the mark. And after the first 8 minutes of playoff action for Woburn, they find themselves doubling up Peabody by a score of 14-7.
I think this is exactly what I expected from a playoff game, going back and forth, players on the floor, clawing for the ball. I mean, what a game, what a start for this Lady Tanners and the Peabody Tanners, both teams. But what I feel like the story of the quarter so far was how we are leaving a lot of points on the table. I think we had one possession where we had like 4 offensive rebounds. I mean, and we couldn't come up with a single point. And Cindy Labissiere 0 for 4 from the free throw line. I mean, that could probably be a lot more meaningful later on. But what do you think, Joey, of the first quarter?
Yeah, it seems as if the Lady Tanners are very lucky to be up 7. But at the same time, you can look at it in the way of the Peabody Tanners being lucky. They're only down 7 with the amount of left points on the board for Woburn. 6 players so far for the Lady Tanners have gotten on the stat sheet tonight. And your leading scorer for the Peabody Tanners is Logan Lemenzi with 4 points, 2 rebounds. But then again, those 2 fouls, and we'll see what kind of effect those have in the remaining 3 quarters. But the Tanners have also been able to take advantage of 8 turnovers thus far for Peabody.
Even at the professional level, at the NBA, WNBA, even down to the high school level, turnovers are just so important. They can make or break anyone's game.
Allison Betancourt into the game now, as it's a long pass from Amber Hayden intended for Morrison, but it was off the mark. Onto the wing now, back out to number 11, Taylor Betancourt, who drives in, back out to the corner. That 3 is over the basket. The shot was by number 15, Sophia Coburn. Quayle drives in, gets another foul, and more free throw attempts upcoming for the Tanners. Once again, as we've mentioned, Hadi, the Lady Tanners so far this game have not been scared one bit to drive in to the paint and create contact, as the first one from Quayle is off the mark, making the Tanners now 0 for 5 total from the free throw line.
I think that's exactly what we're supposed to expect from these Woburn Lady Tanners. I mean, going 19-1 in the season, undefeated in the Middlesex League, they shouldn't be scared of anybody.
Quayle makes the back half of the 2 free throws as the press once again engages from Woburn. Labissiere had an opportunity there, doesn't take it, and the pass is slightly off the mark and it'll go out of bounds. Logan Lemanzi was looking for number 24, Allie Betancourt. Morrison will take her time getting the ball across half court. Almost saw another screen from Meg Quayle. Now the pass will go inside for Quilly from Hayden. Layup was off the mark. And back the other way comes Taylor Betancourt, who hands it off to the wing, and the three was off the mark. Quickly rebounded by Shannon McCarthy. Pass from McCarthy was deflected by number 14, Abigail Betancourt, and out of bounds, staying in favor of the Tanners. With 6:46 to go in the half, the Tanners still find themselves up by a score of 15-7.
I think both sides, the Woburn Lady Tanners might have a little more ball discipline, but both sides, you can see both of them trying to make a play out of razzle-dazzle.
Amber Hayden with a save there on the loss of possession from Labissiere, but she gets it back over to Cuniff, who knocks down the mid-range with nothing but nylon.
Coming off the bench, Jalen Cunliffe, I mean, she's going to be a major force in this game, especially since she wasn't a starter, and coming off the bench, scoring those crucial points.
Taylor Betancourt floats one, looking to go off the glass. She does, and it goes in off the glass for another bucket for the Peabody Tanners. Morrison driving in, draws a double team, and Morrison walked. So it'll be a turnover for the Tanners and a chance to shorten the lead once again for Peabody. Across half court now. The inside pass goes to number 24, Allison Betancourt, who gets fouled. And she'll go to shoot a pair from the charity stripe.
Student section really getting into it.
Allison's first is good, cutting the lead down to 7. Both from the line for Betancourt are good. And Labissiere will take it across half court for the Tanners of Woburn. Cuniff now looking for a pass, gets it to Quilly on the wing, who fakes. Surratt back on the floor, inside for Labissiere, who gets fouled for the third time. This one, however, was on the floor, so it'll be an under the basket inbound. It'll be Cuniff to toss it in for the Tanners. Nice bounce pass inside the post for McCarthy, a spin, and the left-handed layup is good off the glass. That's where Shannon has found the most success this season, is being able to spin to her left in the post. Betancourt almost stripped by Shannon of possession there.
Yeah, Joey, right as you said right before that possession there by Peabody, about how Shannon McCarthy finding her way underneath the basket where she shined all throughout this season, using her size to get those important buckets right underneath the basket in the paint.
Another turnover for Peabody there, as Morrison will look for the open teammate. The screen comes from McCarthy for Labissiere, who floats it up for Shannon, who's looking in the post again. This time goes to her right side, but an offensive foul will go against Shannon, and Peabody will take over. Lamanzi to inbound. Peabody went a little bit too fast on that first inbound, but however, it is now in. Tanner's back off with the press slightly. Betancourt swings to Betancourt. Out to the wing now. The drive by number 24, Allison Betancourt, is good as she nails the layup off the glass. The cross-court pass from Labissiere to Hayden results in an easy layup for the Tanners.
Somewhat of a touchdown pass from Cindy Labissiere.
Allison Bittencourt. Inside to Lamanzi, who finds a double team. Shoots over it. Off the mark. Rebounded by Meg Quayle. Morrison slows it down a little bit to the top of the key. McCarthy on the wing now. Dribble handoff to Cuniff, who shoots a three. That one's off the mark. Lamanzi chooses not to touch it, and it'll go out of bounds. And Peabody will take over. Riley Morgan checks back in. Lamanzi across half court being guarded by Morgan. Into the corner. The drive by Taylor is off the mark. And the ball goes right into the hands of Coach Sullivan, out of bounds in favor of Woburn.
We're noticing a lot of unforced errors from Peabody this quarter.
Usually leading to success for Woburn. Onto the wing now it goes for Morgan. She's got her angle to drive. Off the mark, gets her own rebound. Her foot was on the line, meaning that one will be out of bounds. And Lamanzi will inbound it for Peabody. Number 11, Taylor Bettencourt with a hard drive to the corner. Swings it out for Allison. Lamanzi finds a triple team this time. That one does result in a foul. And Lamanzi will go to the line. Tanner student section increasing the energy, but the first one from Lamanzi is good. Shannon McCarthy will now check back in, replacing Riley Morgan. The second one from Lamanzi is off the mark. Still a battle, almost going out of bounds. A save by Meg Quayle, but no one was able to get to it, and it'll go back to Peabody, and then we'll now have an inbound, a side out next to the Woburn bench. Taylor Bettencourt using a screen, floating it up. Off the mark was Mendonca, who's off the mark. Labissiere now with a hard drive to the hoop, as she's done all night. Off the mark. Quayle fighting for it. She goes out of bounds again, and Peabody will take possession.
I feel like we're going on a little bit of a drought here in the last few minutes. Finding it hard to score. We're getting underneath the basket. We just got to finish.
Quayle will guard the inbound. It goes in for number 14, Abigail Bettencourt, as it then goes out of bounds off the hands of number 11, Taylor Bettencourt. Amber Hayden will inbound it to McKenna Morrison, as we are now under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Tanner's 21, Woburn Tanner's 21, Peabody Tanner's 14. McCarthy into the open corner for Hayden. Her three is off the mark. McCarthy tips it back to Quayle, who gets fouled on her layup attempt, and she will head to the line.
A lot of free throws from the Woburn Lady Tanners so far.
However, up to this point, they're only 1 for 6. Let's see if Quayle can improve that here. First one rattles all the way around, but it's still off the mark. That one, however, does rattle in with a little bit of English on the ball, but it ends up knocking down as Amber Hayden gets the steal and finds the wide open Cindy Labissiere for an easy 2.
Even though it might be 2.5 minutes left in the quarter, it's still a great time to get hot for the rest of the half.
The press definitely does seem to be affecting Peabody here, as the pass from Mendonca is intercepted by Quayle. And the Tanners take it back now with 2:17 and counting to go. Morrison swings it for McCarthy, who really thought about taking the three. Instead hands it off to Labissiere, who's able to drive with the left, where she's had so much success tonight in the paint. Finds another 2 points, causing head coach Stan McKean to call a timeout, with the Tanners increasing their lead all the way to 12, 26-14.
That's the Cindy Labissiere we want to see all night, and how we've been able to see how she plays underneath the basket in the paint, driving towards the basket, and how great she plays there.
Tanners will look to keep the foot on the proverbial gas pedal here, with the energy and press seem to be the two factors that are really affecting Peabody on the offensive end.
Right. I mean, the press obviously showing how great the defense can show in this game, and obviously I want to talk about the rebounds in the first quarter. I think we'll talk more about that at halftime, but like what you said, the press being important in this game. Defense is going to be important even the rest of the way. 2 minutes left to go in the half. See what they come up with here.
McCarthy, Hayden, Labissiere, Morrison, and Quayle on the floor for the Tanners. As it's Taylor Betancourt who floats it up to her cousin Abby Betancourt, and a whistle's blown. Taylor Betancourt will be the one to inbound it here for the Peabody Tanners. And she finds it right back on a nice cut, but it's stolen by McCarthy. Labissiere still with the pace, finding Morrison, who finishes with the left.
Great vision from San Diego to get McKenna Morrison in the open zone, getting the layup.
Betancourt floats it up for Lamanzi. It's off the mark. Lamanzi now with a second chance in the corner. She knocks it down. That one will be another long two. Morrison back the other way now. Screen comes from McCarthy. Labissiere finding it on the wing. Back to McCarthy in the mid-range, who goes over the basket. And it's deflected off the hands of Hannah Surratt and out of bounds, causing a change in possession as Peabody will take over with 1:13 to go. Going the other way now is Peabody, who floats it up off the mark. Labissiere with pace now, looking to keep up the energy. Finds Hayden, left-hand layup off the mark. She went for the steal, but instead will commit a reach-in foul. With 59.5 seconds to go, the Tanners still up 12, 28-16.
It was a good pass there. Amber had a lane, but just the defense coming up on top for Peabody.
Lauren Mendonca at the line will be shooting two. That first one was good, as the front half of the 1-and-1. Second one rattles all the way around the rim and in. 59.5 seconds. Tanners still up double digits, as Morrison will look to take as much time as the Woburn Tanners can here. Morgan on the wing. Swings it over for Labissiere with another handoff to Morrison, who goes all the way around the rim and in for the mid-range bucket. Into the elbow for Allison Betancourt, whose mid-range is off the mark. Rebounded by Taylor. That layup's no good, and a foul. Abby Betancourt will be at the line with the opportunity to get the lead down to 10 with 27.9 seconds to go. First one is off the mark, no good of the 1-and-1. Labissiere finds McCarthy, who slows it down. Back for Labissiere. And Tanner's really slowing down the pace here, the opposite of what they've been doing the entirety of the first half. Nice move by Labissiere, who finds the floater. Beautiful dribble move, finding the open space and letting one go. 32-18 to end the half. Lamanzi fires one up. That one's nowhere close. And after the first half of play, the Woburn Tanners find themselves in a great spot, up by double digits by a score of 32-18. After the break, we'll be back for some first half stats and analysis. back inside the Woburn Public Media Center studios where we stand now. The Tanners find themselves up by a score of 32-18. Honey, what are some things you've seen in that first half?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can talk to you about the first quarter. First quarter is all about those rebounds, seeing a lot of offensive rebounds, but not really capitalizing on those rebounds, leaving a lot of points on the table. And second quarter, I think is a little more positive. We had a lot of energy going. Way to end the first half. I mean, that energy and how Cindy Labissiere managed to get that sick play going right before the half, and that certainly is going to carry on into the third quarter, and hopefully can replenish that energy, which you kind of lose at halftime. But overall, good defense throughout, and just one thing, we just got to get better at the free throw line. We're only 2 for 8, I believe, so that may be crucial for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the energy, especially in the second quarter for the Woburn Tanners, has caused a total of 15 turnovers throughout the game, and mostly the Tanners have been able to turn those turnovers into quick points, which I think is very good in terms of keeping up with the lead they've had and not letting teams back into games, which I know is something that Coach Steve Sullivan probably talked about at halftime.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Steve Sullivan talked to the girls about a lot of different things, some adjustments to be made. Overall, I think they should keep going full steam ahead. You got a double-digit lead. Just keep moving forward, play the way you got to play, and just go on and win this game. Move on to the next round of the playoffs, hopefully.
The Lady Tanners break the huddle, and it will be Morrison, Quayle, Amber Hayden, Shannon McCarthy, and Cindy Labissiere.
As a Let's Go Woburn chants screaming out from the student section.
And Isabel Betancourt will inbound it to number 11, Taylor Betancourt, who is being well guarded by number 31, Shannon McCarthy, and her pass goes straight out of bounds. Labissiere was the closest person there, so either way it'll end up with the Tanners.
Yet another turnover for Peabody. That might be a theme going into the third quarter.
The 16th of the game. Amber Hayden on the elbow swings it back to Morrison, who likes the three and knocks it down.
Way to find the open three and getting the crucial three and adding on to the point tally.
Taylor Betancourt on the top of the key. Bounces it to the corner. Swing back out now. Into the post for Lamanzi, who gets the layup to go. Got the edge on her defender for the open window for the layup. Morrison finds a double. The over-the-head pass from McCarthy. Inside for Labissiere, who's been a force in the paint all night. That continues here. Her first points of the second half.
Great job passing the ball from point to point to point to get Cindy Labissiere in position to get the layup.
Into the corner now. Morrison with the defense on number 11, Taylor Betancourt. Now Quayle into the corner. Deflected back out to Lamanzi. Abigail Betancourt, top of the key three. Knocks it down. A nice answer to the previous three from McKenna Morrison.
With the lead Woburn has, that sort of three should not get to the heads. They should just move on, keep playing for the points.
Inside McCarthy, who goes back to her left and knocks it down. As we've said, McCarthy thrives when she's able to get her positioning in the post and finish with the left. Inside for Lamanzi. And a foul will go against the Woburn Tanners. Long long time to get the inbound in for here for Peabody and underneath the basket. And it'll go the Tanners' way as Lemansny may have stepped out of bounds. Now Morrison alongside Hayden will bring the ball up the court. Hayden thought about a three. Now Cindy Labissiere on the top of the key. Swing for Morrison. Labissiere back in the post, finds herself in a double team. Morrison, second three, second make.
Way to get hot, especially in the third quarter.
Stripped away by McCarthy. Morrison hits the deck and finds Labissiere. Labissiere on the drive, the Euro step, left hand finish is good.
This Woburn Tanners team is going on a roll. We'd love to see that.
Trying to pull away here with 5:19 left to go in the third quarter. A good start to this half in most of the areas we mentioned in terms of the energy, the defense, the rebounding. Those have all been good as we mentioned at the halftime break.
Exactly. I mean, all phases of the game so far coming out to halftime. I think that great move by Cindy Labissiere before halftime really set the tone for coming out of halftime, and all the girls really doing everything they can. They understand the meaning of this game and how much it means to both teams. Trying to see who the real Tanners team is. Maybe that might be the story of the game as this might come to an end.
Inbound goes for Abigail Betancourt, who swings it to Lemansky. Back out to Mendoka, who gets it out to the wing for a make. A made three for Peabody, quickly cutting into the lead after the timeout. Peabody will keep possession now with an underneath the basket inbound. Number 14, Abigail Betancourt, was able to get open on the inbound play, but the three was off the mark. Labissiere now to take it across half court for the Tanners. Cuniff thought about a three. However, Hayden will take a three. Nothing is hit there. Air ball. And it'll go out of bounds, meaning Peabody will take back possession as Isabel Betancourt inbounds it, and it's stolen by Cindy Labissiere, who looked to swing it back out to the corner for Hayden. And number 10, Logan Lemansny, wasn't paying attention to where she was and stepped on the line.
So that was very uncharacteristic from Logan Lemansky, how good she is on the rest of the season, and really not really considering the backcourt there.
Cuniff into the post for McCarthy. Where else would she go? To the left, but it's off the mark, but it'll foul. It'll result in a foul, meaning McCarthy will shoot two. Her first trip to the line tonight. Her first one is good, signifying the third made free throw of the game for the Tanners.
Definitely one area we need to improve on. Hopefully she can make the second one right here.
McCarthy goes 1 of 2 from the line. The lead, however, still stands at 19 in favor of Woburn, as Taylor Betancourt was wide open on the wing and knocks down the three. The outside shooting has seen an improvement for Peabody here in this third quarter. However, still with 4:21 to go, the Tanners up by plenty, 45-29.
Yeah, Peabody getting some crucial threes off and on, but you know, the Woburn Lady Tanners team just proving too powerful for the Peabody Tanners.
We've got outside MIAA tournament score updates as Lincoln Sudbury comes away with the win against Needham by a final score of 52-40, meaning that Lincoln Sudbury will play the winner of tonight's matchup in the Sweet 16. Quayle, Labissiere, McCarthy, Cuniff, and Morgan on the floor right now for the Lady Tanners, as Labissiere will hand it off to Cuniff, who then goes another dribble handoff. This one ends up in the arms of Labissiere. She goes for the Euro step, left-hand finish again, and knocks it down.
There's her signature drive underneath the basket in the paint. What a finish.
Two Woburn players, McCarthy and Labissiere, going to their bread and butter all night tonight. Quayle tracks that one down. McCarthy thought about a three, doesn't take it. Quayle looking for the open teammate. It's Labissiere on a cut, floats it up off the mark, rebounded by Abigail Bittencourt. Swings it for Taylor Bittencourt, who now drives and floats it up into the corner for Lemansny, who wanted to shoot the mid-range. It was very well defended by Quayle, as it'll end up in a jump ball, resulting in possession for the Woburn Tanners.
There's a great defense continuing from the first half.
Amber Hayden checks back in and will inbound it to Cyndia. Let's see if she goes to that drive again. 3:19 to go. Tanners up 47-29. Labissiere swings for Tuzolo, who takes the jumper. Off the mark, deflected into the hands of Lemansny, who slows it down, waits for her teammates to get back into the corner. Labissiere with some nice defense. The drive by Lemansny, and she is fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot from the charity stripe. Oh, excuse me, no, it'll be in underneath the basket inbound, as Peabody runs a similar play to earlier, and it's a Euro step layup off of a screen by number 11, Taylor Bettencourt. Her first from the line is good, as it rattles in, bringing the Peabody point total to 30. Second one off the mark, a quick rebound by Cyndia. She'll look to use her speed to get away into Cuniff, who finds herself wide open underneath the basket for the layup.
Way to fight Cuniff through that drive towards the basket.
Lemansny, quick three the other way. She knocks it down. Trying to claw her squad back into this ball game. Labissiere, drive, looking to the left. No, offensive rebound is good. Shannon McCarthy there to clean up. Labissiere tips the ball. Almost had the steal. Had herself all over number 14, Abigail Bettencourt. Isabel Bettencourt will be the one to inbound it at half court. However, it'll be a second foul on Labissiere, meaning she'll take a seat as Coach Steve Sullivan thinks that's the best route to take. Isabel will once again go for the inbound. Mendonca in the corner swings it out to the wing. Lamanzi is open in the corner. They don't fire. The floater's off the mark and rebounded by McCarthy. With the outlet pass to Cunniff, who stops. Thought about shooting the mid-range, doesn't go for it. The layup is blocked and taken away from McCarthy. Back the other way now comes Taylor Betancourt. She lost control, and Tuzolo will be the one to inbound it for the Woburn Tanners. 1:45 left to go in the third quarter of tonight's ball game. Woburn 51, Peabody 33, as Haley Zwicker in the game for the first time tonight. Zwicker open, thought about it. Tuzolo swings it back to Zwicker. Tuzolo had McCarthy. Zwicker takes the corner three off the mark. Morgan, the closest Woburn player there, doesn't get the rebound. Taylor Betancourt slowly dribbling it towards the top of the key. Inside, stolen by Brooke Tuzolo. And a quick foul.
What a way to steal it from Tuzolo.
With a little increase in the lead, you're seeing a few younger members of the bench for this Lady Woburn Tanner team. Tuzolo with the inbound to Cunniff. Amari Williams on the elbow with a dribble handoff to Tuzolo. Looking inside, didn't have the open teammate. Now Zwicker backs it out to the corner. Inside to Cunniff in the post. Cunniff drives. Shot doesn't get up, but it'll stay with Woburn. Cunniff will be the one to take the underneath the basket inbound. Woburn has looked to the post. In most of these inbounds, they do it again. Tuzolo was the open teammate. Cunniff finds her, and it's an easy layup for the Tanners, increasing their lead to 20. 33 seconds and counting to go. Taylor Betancourt on the drive to the corner. Back out for number 10, Lindsay, and it's good, plus the foul. By number 5, Lauren Mendonca, with 23.3 to go. Peabody still find themselves down 53-35. As McCarthy and Labissiere both check back in for the Woburn Tanners.
Yeah, the margin might be very large. I think it's 18 points at the moment, but that should not be a distractor for how Woburn should play in the fourth quarter.
Tuzolo with the inbound bounce pass to Riley Morgan, who then floats it over for Labissiere, who's done a nice job handling the ball most, if not all, of tonight. Inside to McCarthy. Had the layup. Doesn't go. Rebound goes to Cunniff. She takes an extra step. And Isabel Betancourt will inbound it back for Peabody with only 2.2 seconds left on the third quarter clock. The full court heave is off the mark. With the final 8 minutes set to come, the Tanners up 16, 53-36. Final 8 minutes coming up next.
I think right where we needed it. Third quarter being the best for these Woburn Lady Tanners so far. First half having a little bit of hiccups, but third quarter extending the lead, showing the Peabody Tanners how good they really are, and really making a statement.
Yeah, they'll just hope to stay right where they are and hold ground in the final 8 minutes. And if done so correctly, they'll find themselves into the Sweet 16 of the state Division I tournament going up against Lincoln Sudbury. Third quarter stats. Labissiere with a total of 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, along with Shannon McCarthy's 9 points and 9 rebounds. The leading scorer for Peabody is still Lamanzi with 12, and Taylor Betancourt has 9, but again, that moving number, as it's been all night, is the 23 turnovers.
Yeah, 23. That's a lot for a playoff game, and especially in the energy that they're both playing with. That's something that certainly needed to be addressed at halftime, but looks like it continues on for Peabody.
Allison Betancourt looking to inbound it off the press, and a drive by Taylor's off the mark. A whistle blown. Number 15, Sophia Coburn, also checks back in, and it'll be Lamanzi to shoot at the free throw line. First one's good. Foul will go on Shannon McCarthy. That is her 3rd and the team's 7th. Both good from the line for Logan Lamanzi. Morrison finds herself in a double team. Back to Labissiere, who keeps driving. Quayle with the extra pass to the open. Amber Hayden off the mark with a 3. McCarthy goes with the left and knocks it down. On the layup, Labissiere found her wide open in the paint, and she was there to get it done.
Seems like the issue from the first quarter appears to be solved. How there was the 3-point try from Amber Hayden, but it bounced off the rim, getting the rebounds and finally capitalizing on these rebounds.
It'll be an offensive foul on the screen by Peabody, and the Tanners will take back possession. Morrison looking to slowly get it across the timeline. The Tanners can take as much time as they want off this clock with this big of a lead. Quayle with the dribble handoff back to Morrison. Another handoff to Labissiere, who's been great at the drive all night. She's got the left-hand layup plus the foul.
Another classic Cindy Labissiere driving into the paint, into the basket, and getting the end one as the crowd chants MVP.
Deservedly so. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Labissiere was named co-MVP of the Middlesex League, as her +1 free throw is good, increasing the lead back to 20 in favor of the Tanners. Allison Betancourt floating it up, deflected by Morrison and stolen. She's got Labissiere out ahead, doesn't go to her, instead floats it up herself, off the rim and in. 60 points, but still 6:44 to go. Coach McKean still trying to will his team back into this. We'll take a timeout with 6:44 to go. Tanners of Woburn up 22, smelling the next round of the playoffs.
The energy is high right now. The team, just like you said, smelling the Sweet 16 from here, looking on forward. But right now, I don't think it's a time to be looking forward. Right now, you still have 6 minutes, 44 seconds left. You just got to finish the deal, finish the game, make sure you finish strong, and finish with Tanner pride.
Tanners, I'm sure, will maybe look to make some or create a defensive lineup that they leg in this final minutes of the game, wanting to keep the lead where it is. Morrison, Hayden, Quayle, McCarthy, and Labissiere. The starting lineup back out on the floor for the Tanners. 6:44 to go, 60-38 the score in favor of the Tanners of Woburn.
.2 lead so far, but don't let that get to your head. I mean, especially in the Middlesex League and especially in the playoffs here in the MIA, anything can happen.
Taylor Bettencourt floats it up off the glass. No good, but a foul. Bettencourt's first in the line is off the mark. Too strong. Cunniff will check back in, replacing Quayle. Morrison floats up the mid-range off the mark. McCarthy with the rebound, finishes with the left. She's there to clean it up again, as she's been all night. Her 10th rebound and then a steal from McCarthy, going the other way. Drops it off for Morrison, but it was thrown off the mark and off her ankle, and it'll go out of bounds.
That's exactly, on the McCarthy layup, that's exactly what a championship team strives to be. Finding a little issue they may have early in the game, making the proper adjustments and getting your mind right and getting those good plays in. In that case, getting the offensive rebound and getting those layups.
Allison Bettencourt looking for the right inbound play. Gets it to Taylor. McCarthy went for another steal, this time closely guarding Lamanzi. Inside for Woburn. Her pass is stolen by Morrison. Morrison thought about slowing it down. Cunniff also thought about a three. Back to McCarthy. A beautiful cut by Cunniff, and she finishes with a touch off the glass.
One heck of a play from the Woburn Lady Tanners there.
On an offensive foul going against Peabody, and the Tanners of Woburn firing on all cylinders here with still 5:43 to go, up 64-39.
I mean, no disrespect to the Peabody Tanners, but seems like prep for Lincoln Sudbury has started already.
Morrison will take the inbound, being closely guarded by Taylor Bettencourt. Brooke Tuzelo back into the game. Hannah Surratt lost control, gets it back. Still got it in the corner. Cunniff had another cut. And a whistle is blown here. And a timeout for Coach Sullivan and the Woburn Tanners, as they look to clean some things up here for the final 5:26 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Coach Steve Sullivan calling a timeout, gathering his players together, try to find we're on the final stretch here. 64-39, 5.5 minutes left to go. Just about making the proper adjustments here. Nothing too major, but make sure you keep your head down and finish the game.
That's for sure, and as we said earlier, the winner of this game, which right now would be the Woburn Tanners, will go on to face Lincoln Sudbury, who came out on top of their second round matchup against Needham by a final score of 52-40. Riley Morgan with the inbound goes to Morrison, who decides to pop the three and knocks it down. Her third make on her third attempt, and she's been on fire tonight from being on the arc. Lamanzi, hard drive. First layup doesn't go, gets her own rebound and puts it back up and in.
Lady Tanners not slowing down at all.
Lost control for a second, did Hannah Surratt, but gets it back and draws a foul. Surratt will head to the line. Hannah Surratt's really been that leader off the bench for the Tanners. Some may have thought she could have been in the starting lineup at the start of the season, but an injury to her wrist held her back, and the starting lineup that Coach Sullivan came up with in return was playing so well that no changes ended up being made, and Surratt's just been that spark off the bench in terms of leadership. As she gets it back, but then it has it promptly stolen back away. The layup on the other end is good, plus the foul. Number 11, Taylor Betancourt, back at the free throw line for one shot. That one shot is good. Tuzelo with the inbound, looking to go a little bit quicker. Inbounds it to Zwicker. Now Riley Morgan with a swing pass to Tuzelo, who almost got pickpocketed, stays with it. Cuniff, who's been great at moving without the ball all night tonight. Tuzelo driving into the paint, lost control of the ball. Isabel McCarthy was the first Peabody player there inside to Lamanzi, driving in on a double team. Ball loose in the paint. Cuniff causes the jump ball. Let's see where possession stands.
I would mention great defense in that sequence, like Peabody trying to use all the energy they can to get that bucket, but never seems to go where it needs to be.
Possession arrow was in favor of Woburn, and Morrison will slowly take it up across the Tanner timeline, being closely guarded by Isabel Betancourt. That drive, however, was too easy for McKenna Morrison as she finishes with the left.
I had the exact same thought. That just looked too easy for McKenna Morrison, star on this Lady Tanners team.
Drive by Abigail Betancourt, no good. Off the mark, rebounded by McCarthy once again. Morrison mid-range all the way around, and the shooter's touch knocks it down. Looks like Coach Sullivan is set and ready to go with a mass substitution. 4 different Tanners set and ready to check in at the next whistle.
Seems that the curtain call is here.
It'll be Amari Williams, Jasmine Morgan, Haley Zwicker, Yanalessi Cepeda, and Riley Morgan on the floor. Lauren Mendonca will go to the line after the foul on the Tanners. That's their 10th as a team, meaning an automatic 2 from here on out with a foul on the floor.
At this point, game's all about time management.
And being able to get your younger players into some playoff action as the inbound pass is quickly stolen by Abigail Betancourt as Cepeda lost sight of it for a second. And that'll be Kaylee McCarthy, the junior varsity star for this girls basketball program, into the game tonight for the first time as the layup off the glass is good. Haley Zwicker being closely guarded by the press into the corner. Jasmine Morgan with the mid-range jumper off the mark. The layup on the other end is good. Another and one foul. With the Peabody Tanners with a make will get the lead back down to 20, but it might be a little bit too late for a full comeback. Cepeda will check back out. And Uzalo will be in for her. The and one free throw is good by Abigail Betancourt. Jasmine Morgan regains control, finds Brooke Tuzalo. And a foul will go against a traveling violation actually will go against Brooke Tuzalo as the double team caused her to take an extra step. And it'll be another timeout here as Coach Sullivan will take a knee to draw up the final strategies here for the Lady Woburn Tanners with the score 71-51 in favor of Woburn. Just looking to finish out this game on a high note, and the next step will be to prepare for Lincoln Sudbury.
Yeah, that's right. Lincoln Sudbury being the 14th seed in the bracket, they may be a great matchup. It'll be exciting to see what Coach Steve Sullivan and the Woburn Lady Tanners can pull off in that game.
Isabel Betancourt will be the one to inbound it. Abigail gets it across the Tanner at midcourt, being closely guarded by Haley Zwicker. Now back out in the corner. Abigail will shoot a three and knock it down. She's really turned it on here in these last fourth quarter minutes. So good for her in these playoff times as Brooke Tuzalo now has some open space. Floats it up off the mark. Rebounded by McCarthy. Her left-handed shot is off the glass and good. Inside high, arcing off the glass. The three by number 23, Maya Davis, is good. Amara Williams now with some open space, looking to find a teammate, and a double dribble will go against Williams, giving possession back to the Peabody Tanners. And I think with this young lineup, you can still see some inexperience, but good to get the minutes out on the floor.
Especially in the playoffs. You know, playoff experience is really priceless for a lot of these players.
Into the corner, Isabel Betancourt driving, floats it up off the glass, and it's good. Cuniff will inbound it to Tuzalo. 90 seconds remain in this second round MIA tournament matchup. Tuzalo, open, elbow, got it. 74th and 75th points for the Woburn Tanners with that mid-range jumper. 1:19 remaining. Most of the Tanners roster has been able to get some time on the floor tonight.
I want to mention the Woburn leaders for these Lady Tanners team. McKenna Morrison with 21 points, Sunil Basir with 19 points, and Shannon McCarthy 13 points and 11 rebounds, getting a double-double there in the stat sheet.
Jasmine Morgan, Janalessi Cepeda, Amari Williams, Haley Zwicker, Kaylee McCarthy on the floor now for the Tanners of Woburn. Lamanzi drives, kicks it back out to Abigail Betancourt, whose shot finds Isabel Betancourt. And we got a whistle. And the inbound will go to a foul. Will actually be called with exactly 1 minute left remaining in this fourth quarter. It'll be Isabel Betancourt, a captain of this Peabody team, at the line. Her first is no good. As some more seniors for this Peabody team will check out in what unfortunately will be their last high school basketball action of their careers. As all of the seniors now making the rounds, hugging the bench as it goes to McCarthy at the top of the key. Amari Williams will swing it for Jasmine Morgan. Back out to Cepeda, who thought about a three, and Cepeda traveled. 42.6 seconds to go. The Woburn Tanners on their way to the Sweet 16. As Allison Betancourt with the dribble handoff to Davis. Now a swing out to Coburn, who's looking to drive in the post. Floater no good. Offensive rebound is grabbed and put back in by Lamancy. And Cepeda with pace now, going out to Morgan, who dribbles it across the three-point line. Zwicker swings it for Cepeda, who then gets it to McCarthy. And as we hit triple zeros here tonight, the Woburn Tanners come out with a W by a final score of 75-62. Leading scorer McKenna Morrison and Cindy Labissiere. The Tanners will move on to the Sweet 16 of the MIAA Division I tournament. And their next game will be played against Lincoln Sudbury here in Woburn. Hadi, what are your final thoughts on tonight's ball game?
Joey, I mean, what a game. I mean, going to the playoffs, obviously tension's going to be high. Woburn showing the Peabody Tanners who the real Tanners really are. The Woburn Tanners showing themselves to be a championship team. They could go all the way. You saw a little bit of rocky in the first quarter, but ultimately the Woburn Lady Tanners proving too much for the Peabody Tanners. And overall, I mean, I see a potential deep run into the playoffs here, Joey.
Honey, I truly hope you're right. Once again, here from inside the Woburn Public Media Center studios, the Tanners' first playoff action results in a win by a final score of 75-62. For all our cast and crew, producer Anthony Giglio, technical director Kevin Burkett, and cameraman Morris Flynn, and my color commentator Hadi Bilal, I am Joey Matroni, signing off and wishing everybody a good night.